Good evening and welcome back to the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, where we've just seen James Wade put in a career best performance here at the PDC World Matchplay. The Winter Gardens in Blackpool, 104.44, the average 67% on his doubles. He's the first name through to the last 16. He's beaten Joe Cullen by 10 legs to 3. On the way, Danny Noppert, the freeze, takes on Cameron Menzies for a spot in the last 16. Winner of this one will take on either Luke Humphries or Gian van Veen, who play later on this evening. Mark Wilson with Chris Mason for game 2. Mace, we were backstage watching what was pretty much a masterclass from Wadey.
Yeah, it's James Wade back to his absolute brilliant best, and that's why he's had so much success here and multiple finals. A former winner, of course, but that was something special in the last 6 months or so. He has been brilliant. Picked up a Pro Tour title around about a month ago. Today on arrival said he felt good, felt like everything was on point, and my goodness, well, he backed that up by absolutely blitzing Joe Cullen, who does tend to play well here, but in spells there, the damage was done early, wasn't he? He was up around 110 in terms of an average Wade, and he just wasn't missing doubles.
He wasn't. What about our next game then? That sees Danny Noppert taking on Cameron Menzies, the freeze.
Yeah, both in-form players at the moment. Danny had a little bit of a slump, but back to his best last weekend in Kiel in Germany. He's playing some good stuff, but so's Cammy. Cammy's sort of reinvented himself, much more calmer player. 4 meetings between the two prior to this evening, 2-2. There's just nothing to pick. We both thought that James and Joe would go long and go close. Well, we both think the same about this one. You know, it's got sort of 10-8 written all over it. But as you could see with Wade, if you get off to a quick start and you have a really good spell in that first session, he led 4-1. If it goes down the same as that, we could have another quick game. But I just think this one's gonna go real deep.
Yeah, Danny Noppert, former UK Open winner back in 2022. He's picked up a quartet of Players' Championship titles since then. I don't want to say has he underperformed. Has he not kicked on? I mean, we applaud him for his consistency, Danny Noppert, but he's not picking up the big titles. He's
one paced, isn't he? And the thing is, if you don't show up against him, or you're at sort of 80%, he will punish you, and more often than not he will beat you. He's got good records against most players because he is that type. I always say it about him, there's no real special effects about him, but my goodness, isn't he effective? Very much like Ratajski.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. Cameron Menzies finally got over the line, didn't he, in terms of a Players' Championship last year. He's since gone on and won another title. Where's the limit for Menzies, do you think?
Well, he's got a very, very high ceiling, and players like that, there's often too much of a range in between their very best and their B game. He sort of goes from A to C, really, and once he masters that, he may not ever master that. I personally think he's just one of those flair players that if it's his day and he's on it, he can be unplayable. We've seen it from him time and time again, and that's just sometimes that's a player's makeup, isn't it? They never really may find that balance. But talking about Ratajski and Danny, they're one pace, but that's a compliment because their one pace is absolutely rock solid.
Yeah, and for Menzies, of course, being here is the next step for him, isn't it? Appearing in these big TV tournaments.
We talk about it before, Mike, how hard it is just to get here, but the real hard work starts when you walk through the door and look around, and if you're a bit of a darts historian and you think back to some of the magic moments that's happened in this building, and yeah, I don't think Cammy will be overawed by it. He just doesn't strike me as that type of person. I think he's the kind of guy that'll go up there and absolutely relish being on that stage.
Yeah, will indeed. Still to come, Luke Humphries, the defending champion, takes on Gian van Veen, who did beat Luke Humphries in a Players' Championship final earlier this year.
Last time they met.
Yeah, and Aspinall against Nijman. I mean, we've got two absolute bangers to finish the night off. But James Wade, the first name through, he will take on the winner of Nathan Aspinall or Wessel Nijman, who take the stage later on tonight. Packed out here, not a ticket to be had for love or money here live at the Winter Gardens. Joking aside, we can't get one.
We can't get one.
It's not on, is it? It's not on. Thanks for joining us on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page tonight. We do appreciate you being alongside us. Every dart of this tournament will be on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. We'll be on talkSPORT 2 and talkSPORT as well throughout the tournament. As well, all the interviews as well will appear from the winners on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. Who are you going for then, Noppert or Menzies? What's your selection, Chris?
I just sort of shade towards Danny, just for that reliability, the fact that he's so clinical in terms of finishing. He's right up there with, you know, the leading lights in terms of finishing and his doubling percentage. So it wouldn't surprise me if Cammy wins, because if the right version of Cameron Menzies turns up, then Danny's going to have to find another gear. He sort of showed signs of it. I mean, if he adds that scoring power to his game, which he produced last week in Germany, Danny can take his game to another level. But was that a one-off day? It appears to be, when you do look at all the stats that I can find on the last, not the last year, but the last 5 years of Danny Noppert's career. He's more of he's steady away.
Menzies will have good memories of that last meeting when he beat him in the semi-finals. Menzies went on to pick up the title in Leicester last year on the Pro Tour, so he'll be hoping that he can get a winning start here in Blackpool. Who have you gone for as your selection for the tournament, Chris?
Well, it's one of those. I think if Littler gets up and running and plays well early and gets through the early couple of rounds, he's the kind of guy that sort of makes me feel like he openly admits he's not a player that practices a lot, if at all. But if he starts playing himself into the tournament, he could well take the title, because I've just sort of dug a little bit deeper on this year's numbers, and he tops those despite probably playing as the least amount of matches as anybody, because he does very much pick and choose what he wants to play in.
Yeah, he does. It's nice to have that luxury, isn't it? Picking and choosing when you rock up for work, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of players sort of, often complain about burnout and fatigue. Well, that's not going to be an issue for him coming into this tournament. I was surprised that, he's openly said he doesn't want to play in Germany. He doesn't feel like he gets a fair shake. But he also swerved the last 2 Pro Tours, didn't he, in Leicester? And I thought that would have been nice to use as a bit of a sharpener.
Yeah, well, he didn't take that route. Noppert and Menzies have been in action regularly coming into this one, and we all wait. John McDonald is on the stage ready to announce the players on here. It was electric atmosphere when Joe Cullen made the first walk-on of the tournament tonight. It'll be electric later on when Nathan Aspinall makes his walk-on as well. You can get in touch on the comments on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. Please do like and subscribe as well. Plenty of content throughout the tournament here from Blackpool. All the team in residence for the full session all the way through until the final on Sunday. A week on Sunday away. 9 days of darts. Double header tomorrow as well. Dinner time start for the darts. A double header of 8 games in total tomorrow. 1 till 5 and then 7 until around about 11. Unless we get a bit of overtime in it. We might be getting a bit of overtime. We might.
We are coming to you live on Sky Sport from the iconic Winter Gardens, Blackpool. It's the PDC World Matchplay, all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players from Scotland. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of 2 PDC titles, a Grand Slam quarter-finalist. This is his World Matchplay debut. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cameron Menzies.
Cameron Menzies making his way onto the stage here at the Winter Gardens, Blackpool. Must be a special feeling when you get to do it for the first time. Not the biggest crowd he'll ever play in front of, but it might just be the most passionate.
Yeah, certainly the most knowledgeable. He's got an incredible history. There's just so many familiar faces. Even going back to when I last played here, you still see the same people that started coming in 1994.
But that's number 2, a winner of the UK Open, a World Matchplay semi-finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the Freeze, Danny
Danny Noppert applauds the crowd as he makes his way onto the stage. Now, first thing I'm going to say, Danny Noppert, normally the coolest customer around. You can see the sweat already. He's roasting in the Winter Gardens tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be even hotter tomorrow with the double session. Those on tomorrow night will certainly feel the difference. It was interesting that Cammy got a couple of boos, which is unusual in Blackpool because there's often more Scottish people in Blackpool than English people at this time of year.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, they're on the stage now. Cameron's just struggling to get the lid off his water bottle. Kirk Bevan's not having much more joy either.
Charlie Gardner having a go. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Well done, Charlie.
There we go. Bottle is opened.
I remember that happening with Luke Littler. I can't remember which tournament it was, but he couldn't get the top off the water bottle either.
Menzies has not been in the best of form of late. There's a little bit of joking going on stage about who should be standing where and whose bottle is whose, and well, we're about to get underway. It's the dark blue darting shirt, no collar, very nice for Cameron Menzies. The black and white shirt of the Freeze, his trademark colours now, the black and white.
Yeah, I think with players like Menzies, the real quick flair players, they will have peaks and troughs in form because, you know, that's the very nature of the type of game they play. Well, like I say, when he gets it right, my goodness, doesn't he get it right? He's so easy on the eye to watch because it's just being played at that tempo we enjoy.
Yeah, should be a fast and furious game tonight. The first one was faster than many thought. 10-3, James Wade still to come. Luke Humphries, defending champion, takes on Gian van Veen. And Nathan Aspinall, former champion here, takes on Wessel Nijman. That one of the, well, those two, probably two of the ties of the round, and they're here on the opening night. But the beauty of this tournament, Chris, is not a bad game anywhere because it's the best in the world against the best informed players in the world.
It certainly is, and the matches just get better and better as we progress through the tournament. I think we're going to see something special here this week. Don't count out at least a couple of 9-darters.
Just a couple?
Yeah. Greedy.
Noppert with a throw then, race to 10. Reminder, if we get to 9-9, we need extra time. 140 from Noppert, the 16 seed here.
When he went treble 20, I thought we're going to get a 9 right there and then.
Well, you never know. Here in Blackpool, anything can happen. And that's just at the darts.
Oh, what a start. There's a bit of a statement for Noppert this early doors, if you're wondering what kind of mood he's in. Starts with back-to-back 140s, and he's looking, like you say, he's always very cool. He's calm and calculated.
Yeah, and he is right on point. He's in the red bit again here, and maximum. And a bit of a fist punch there from Noppert, who's on 41 after 9.
Yeah, saw a different side. Like I said, last Sunday on the European Tour in Kiel, he was as fired up as I've ever seen him, and he laser-like focus. Tops for an 11-dart start. Wow.
Well, that is eye-catching.
140, 140, 180, 1 tops. He maybe he's been inspired by the James Wade performance, and he's coming out and saying, what, you put down a 104 marker, hold my dart case.
Yeah. Well, Wade has got the most at walk on, hasn't he? The I'm still standing up to the semi-finals last year when he very nearly failed to qualify. Menzies sums up his maximum account.
Noppert responds, treble 20. Ooh, just gets a little deflection. Comes for cover, 99. So a little bit of a cushion for Menzies. 3-4-3 Noppert, 2-6-2 Menzies. Treble 20 isn't followed. Single 18 leaves him 1-6-4.
Down to a finish. Noppert, whatever he does here, he's not going to have that same luxury, and he can't get the second treble in.
Well, we cover plenty of darts here on talkSPORT, but the atmosphere here is just nowhere else like it.
Yeah, that's it. There's Menzies. Ooh, only 41 of the 164, so not an ideal visit. Snatches his darts. He's a little bit more neatly trimmed these days, isn't he, Cameron? He used to look like a bit of a wild beast with his hair, his mop of hair. Not that I'm jealous in any way, Chris, but...
Well, he has made a conscious decision just to work on every element of his game, his diet and his approach, and for me it's working, but a little bit wayward. 19, and then went up for the treble 18 and hit a big 1, so he's on 103.
Well, he was on a finish when Noppert was on 3-4-3.
Yep.
And Noppert may be about to take out the 104 and go 2-0 in front here.
Yeah, could pick his pocket with a 15 darter if he takes his 104 out. Oh, that's awkward, it's low, he's going to have to navigate around. Could go treble 16 for double 18, 184.
Looking down the board, Chris has called it. Double 18 for the 104 out, and that is right in the middle of the red bit. Menzies can't believe it, he made a real mess of that, and he gave Noppert a sniff, and he takes out the 104.
Yeah, the approach play from Menzies was disastrous. Just opened the door, and Noppert just kicked it in. 2 treble 20s coming for the treble 19, gets it 177.
Well, we saw James Wade get off to a blistering start. I think he was averaging about 110, 10 legs deep. Well,
yep.
Noppert's on 122, near enough, 2 in. Yes, there's a long way to go, but I think you can put a marker down at the start.
Well, usually a player will sort of play himself in, but when you're really playing well and confident, there was no early nerves, and it just sort of, it's a statement of intent. And what disaster for Menzies is he gets 20-20 and then a bounce out. He's 177 behind, plus these. Noppert from 2-2-4 doesn't find the treble. 2 right on the bottom wire. Beautiful third dart. Only had a tiny part of the treble 20 to aim at and found it.
Yeah, he did. Menzies is struggling here.
Well, he's been put on the back foot from the opening turn.
He has, and you just wonder, that inability to take care of the 164 in a couple of visits has left him a bit vulnerable early on here.
And when your opponent does make this kind of start, you just feel like you just can't get into the game, and you just don't find any kind of rhythm. And then the belief starts to disappear. At single 6, oh dear, 2 8s leave you 48, mate. He will be back, of course, because Menzies all the way back on 2-4-3, only halfway through the leg.
Yeah, what we have seen about Menzies, when he's good, he's brilliant. He can have periods like this. Tops for 3-0 for Noppert. 2 10s. 2 5s.
His turn to fluff his lines. I'm amazed he went for that with Menzies back on 202 and just didn't bust it.
Score?
Yeah, well, you don't want to get involved in 5. All sorts can go wrong with this.
Well, he's hit the big one, so he needs double 2. Now he needs double 1. And he gets double 1. Well, Doesn't matter how big the finish, as long as you hit the finish, and crucially, he did hit the finish. And he now leads by 3-0, and it's imperative, you feel here, that Menzies holds so at least in the next 2 legs.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. I mean, if he gets broke here, there's every chance he'll go into the break 5-0 down, and that little break backstage, it would be very, very miserable indeed.
Well, it's Noppert's 7th visit to Blackpool, isn't it, for this particular event? He's more often than not gone out early. A quarter-final turned into a semi-final in 2022, and other than that, he's not really done anything here.
Well, some players just, well, it's one of those tournaments, as you rightly said at the top. It's the 16 best players in the world rankings and the 16 best players on form. So that, you know, you're gonna have a tough game.
Yeah, this is a guy we used to see him winning Pro Tour events, getting regularly to the latter stages. This is a strange old place. It does certain things to certain people. It's not putting him off at the moment. Another maximum for Noppert.
Yeah, so many great players have hardly had.
Wow. Menzies on 178 has just bust. He just hit a max. He hit the 2 trebles. You think he's going to hit single 18, and he fired another one in.
I can only think he's just not aware of his score, and again, this is what pressure does to you. It does strange things to your mind. But
that will be a gif.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Well, it's just a silly error. I just don't understand why he's not. I mean, he shouldn't be anywhere near the 20 anyway. He wanted 58, so he should have been
18.
single 18 for tops.
Yeah.
But what it has done now is given 6 starts for Noppert from 1-2-1 to lead 4-0 and break throw and get the double break.
Well, he's going to be coming back on double 8 because Menzies here. Well, he's shaking his head. He made a mess in leg 2, and he has made more than a mess. This is a catastrophic leg of darts for Menzies that will only be saved if Noppert misses double 8. He's missed it by a mile. Double 4. He's inside. Double 2. Killer dart.
The last dart hurts more than any other dart. As I said, he is one of the most reliable in terms of finishing, and he's missed a few here already, but he's still up around 40%, which is sort of minimum where these pro players want to be. At the moment, Menzies averaging just 78.
Yeah.
You're just not going to compete with those kind of numbers.
No. And in the 2 legs on his throw, he's been in control of both of them and somehow managed not even to get a go at a double.
And it's not really been via the Noppert pressure, because he's not been on it on the Menzies throw. I mean, if Menzies hits a single 18 there to come back for tops, he's forcing Noppert out to take out the 1-2-1.
Yeah, and that's what should have happened. Noppert won't believe his luck here. Danny Noppert will take on well, if he wins, he'll take on the winner of our next game, Luke Humphries against Gian.
Well, it's gone early.
Well, at 4-0, I think the odds are probably in my favour. But
yeah, I don't think you could get a bet on at 4-0. Not when Menzies his average has dropped even further, now down to 75, where Noppert's up around 97.
Mention he's not been in great form, Menzies.
No, there's been a dip, that's for sure.
He needs a break here. I think, you know what, I think he said, look, it's 5-0, let's just go. It's right, let's go off. I need to get off here. I need to get off, put my head in the sink and do something.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. This place is like no other, and we're seeing why all the players say it.
Yeah. I had the luxury, I watched the opening game up on the balcony, and it makes you realise just how intimate this building is. It's almost like when you look into the crowd, you can see everybody in the crowd looking at you. Noppert's on tops.
And when we used to play at the Circus Tavern, of course, it's a very similar feel to it, because I mean, it's a real low ceiling building, but everyone's on you, very much like this.
Yeah. Tops for 5-0. Way underneath, double 10. Well, he's got double 5 again. He's going for it. And Menzies is not on a finish. Is he going for it? He's changed his mind. Does he go 2 for double 4? Or does he bust his score? He busts it.
Yeah, a straight bust. Yeah, so if you had the experience of playing at the Tavern, for example, it would sort of almost prepare you for a little bit of what you could expect here.
Tops for 5-0. Half an inch too high. The adjustment, though, is immaculate. And it is 5-0. And Cameron Menzies strokes his chin. As a plumber by trade, he looks like he's just turned up to a particularly nasty block toilet, and he's not quite sure what to do about it.
Great analogy, yeah. It's horrible to see, but it's unfortunate. It's just part of the process of getting used to new venues, and like I said, qualifying is hard, but it gets really tough on that stage, especially the way things. What could have gone wrong for Menzies has gone wrong with some of the approach play, and then that, of course, that 178 bust by hitting a 180, and then what happens is that the embarrassment sort of sets in, and then you just feel sorry for yourself, really. And unfortunately, with our sport, there's nowhere to hide. You can't sort of hide behind a couple of midfielders. You just got to get on with it. And there's one stat that we've not even touched on yet, and that's the trebleless visits, Mark.
Yeah, 13 for Menzies, 3 for Noppert. Menzies not even had a shot at a double yet.
No.
5 legs in.
Yeah, and you won't when you're averaging 75. You're always going to be a throw and a bit behind, probably 4 darts behind. But to only miss a treble on 3 occasions in 5 legs shows you how efficient and solid Noppert has been, and at times explosive. He's had 2 180s, a 177, started with 11 darter, backed that up with a 15 dart break with a 104 out, and then really he's just been allowed to coast.
Yeah, he has indeed. Still to come, Luke Humphries takes on Gian van Veen, Nathan Aspinall, Wessel, Nijman. Got big time boxing over on talkSPORT tonight. Rematch, Dubois, or Usyk Dubois.
Usyk Dubois, yeah,
get it right. Sorry, get it right. Yeah, we're getting into trouble. Yes, you'll be going, well, tell the listeners who you're going for.
Yeah, I'm going for Usyk throughout his career, which is, I think it's around 400 odd fights, amateur and pro. Every time he's had to rematch an opponent, he's been more convincing in the rematch. Did it to AJ, of course, did it to Fury, where he, well, arguably, some feel that fight could have been stopped. And I think the Dubois fans are making a little bit too much of the Miller win and the Hrgovic win. But of course, the way he dealt with AJ, which has been done before, of course, by Ruiz. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I think the ring craft and the IQ. I think that a lot of people are, well, a lot of Dubois fans are hoping that he's going to get old overnight, but Usyk lives such a clean life. Never, you know.
He's not a Ricky Hatton, is he?
No, exactly that. There's he doesn't pile weight on, and then he goes into the gym fit, and everything they do, it has a purpose to it, and I just think he's a generational great, and yeah, looking forward to watching the highlights, because I'll be working, of course. I won't be watching it.
Well, the way it's going, Chris, you might be done.
Actually, yeah,
you might be done. You better listen to it on talkSPORT on the way back. James Wade, 10-3 winner over Joe Cullen, average 104.44, his best ever return here at the match play at the 62nd time of asking. Only Phil Taylor's won more games here than James Wade. Let that sink in.
And if you are watching, which we hope you are, via our YouTube channel, make sure you leave a comment, or if you've got any questions for myself, Mark, Dance, or Nico, keep them civil, keep them sensible, and we'll try and answer it.
Well, Paul says he could beat what Menzies on a 76 average. You'd fancy your chances there, Chris, wouldn't you?
Yeah, against the 75 average, absolutely.
Paul says the Winter Gardens needs air conditioning. I'm not wrong.
That doesn't really work well with darts.
Yeah, with the darts, yeah. It's lovely for us, rubbish for the players. But yeah, it is particularly warm, but hey, come on, it could be worse. Luke Humphries,
Could be cold. I'd rather be warm than cold.
You would. Aspinall, Wessel, Nijman to come. We mentioned we've got a double header tomorrow. Damon Hector first up, Andrew Gilding, Rob Cross against Dirk van Dijvenbode, Peter Wright,
that's a cracker,
Jermaine Wattermainer, and Dave Chisnell against Mike De Decker. I love this tournament. I really do love this tournament. Right, Cameron Menzies is back on the stage. And he opens up with a 1-3-4. What advice would you give Menzies at the mid-session interval?
Just sort of accept it for what it is and just go out and have a free hit. You're 5-0 down. Release a bit of the pressure. Try and play with an element of freedom, which is what a guy like Menzies with this type of throw, as soon as there's any element of effort in it, it will break down.
Yeah. Everyone was excited about a close night of darts, but at the minute it's one-way traffic, and it's one-way in terms of the Freeze, who hits another maximum. That's 3 maxes and a 177.
Ironically, with a name like Freeze, it's exactly what Menzies done, isn't it, in the early stage of this game, and that's what happens. You get a bit of stage fright here at the Winter Gardens.
Noppert's in again here. 2-2-4, he's hit 2 treble 20s, 140 to leave 84.
Yeah, after just 9 darts.
Yeah, a question. You mentioned about freezing. We saw what happened to Cameron at the Worlds. It wasn't a particularly nice watch. We know there were things going on in his life at the time. However, the big stage is becoming a bit of a problem for him, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've seen him. I mean, we're both fortunate enough. We cover a bit of the European Tour and World Series events, and you know, in other places he's looked very comfortable. I think he's one of 48. His fan misses the double 8 for a 12 darter. Yeah, I just think it's the way he is, because we have seen him play well on big stages.
We have, but he's not going to get the 153. So Noppert is coming back for 8 for a 6-0 lead. That's not even in the picture. He's gone for the wrong double, I think. I think he's gone for double 18.
Fortunately, he's missed it.
Menzies is thinking, why didn't you hit it? You hit everything else. Double 4. Take 2. Double 2. He's hit this before, and he hits it again. Well, every little bit of luck he's going against Menzies at the minute.
One for bad luck, he'd get no luck at all, because that is another breaker throw. 6-0. Menzies just can't stop the rock. Danny Noppert's absolutely laughing his head off. He can't believe it. I mean, you imagine if he hit the double 18 and celebrated.
Well, we saw Johnny Clayton, didn't we, in Poland a couple of weeks ago, celebrate a 1-1-1 checkout, was it? Or a 1-1-3?
1-1-4, but he wanted 1-2-4.
Yeah.
He hit the tops to leave 10.
Yeah, he did. Well, Menzies.
Yeah, his edge dropped now, and listen, understandable. He's had an absolute mare so far up there, but there's got to come a point where he just sort of goes, right, let's just throw.
This is not.
You can visibly see he's forcing everything.
And it's sad to watch, because he's clearly not enjoying the experience, and you can see he's not enjoying. Look, no one enjoys getting beat 6-0, do they? But I look at Joe Cullen, who got battered early on, but Joe Cullen actually played okay. He just got monstered by someone that played the best he's ever played here.
Well, and that is exactly the case. It is the best he's ever played at the match play, and when you think that was his 62nd match, it's got. I mean, Joe was averaging mid-90s, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's 20 years of history there it's taken to beat Joe Cullen. Menzies could be going one of the worst averages in his life at the minute.
Well, I've seen a few bagels over the years at the match here, but not very often. It's a rarity.
Yeah.
76 left for Danny. Treble 20. Oh, he's gone double 18 for tops.
Well, he hit the double 18 and missed tops. 1-4-6 for Menzies to spark some life. Nowhere near. Single 1, single 3. And then he was lucky, just about hit the single 20. That was a poor visit. Double 10. It's 7-0 here. And this is an uncomfortable watch now.
Yeah, it's not pleasant at all to see a player going through the ringer. Starts with a ton. Does have the throw in this eighth leg. Needs to take advantage of the advantage of throw. Danny backs him up with a ton of his own. Leads 7-0.
Julia's watching along on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Says Menzies not likely to win a leg the way he's playing. And I can't disagree with that.
Well, I think the law of averages is he's gonna produce one leg.
Well, he's had not one shot at a double. That has got to be a record. If he loses without a shot, that has got to be a record.
Yeah, I certainly don't remember that happening. I remember not getting too many shots against James Wade on debut, and well, when James Wade made his debut in the quarterfinals, he just didn't miss enough to give me a go. And Danny Noppert is doing that here with a max down to 135 on the Menzies throw, and well, the closer we get, the more I'm siding with
the bagel.
Yes. Well, it didn't need to go for the 135, so normally would have gone ball, but went for 20. He's hit 2 singles, 95 left. Then uses the ball to leave 70. So he should get at least one dart at a double for 8-0. This is better for Menzies. 105 leaves 76.
Right, Noppert then. They slammed the door shut on Menzies' chances. Oh, he's hit the treble 18 to leave double 8. He's inside double 8. He's not been great on double 4 either thus far. And he's missed it. So surely this time Menzies is going to get a go at a leg.
Well, the ironic thing, he's looked a bit fragile on the double. Single 20. Oh, he's hit double 16, double 12. Well, when he does get a go at a double, he hits 2 of them.
Biggest cheer of the night. Not quite the way he intended it, but he got there in the end. It came after Noppert missed 2 darts to go 8-0 in front.
Yeah, it was a plum treble to give him the 2 darts at a double, but yeah, that's one area of his game that he won't be happy with, Danny. He'll be happy with his consistency. Still, Mark only missed on 3 throws where he's not hit a treble in the whole match.
Yeah, that's
a remarkable stat.
It is. He's in again. He's looking for another max.
But he has missed 16 darts at a double.
Yeah, he has. But crucially, he's only been punished once.
Yeah, exactly that. And that was in the last leg. 266 Noppert. He's down at the 19s because a treble 19 will leave him 170, and he gets a deflection and it just flops onto the floor. So down to 227. Menzies 362, single 20. Another single 20, just a ton.
Well, he's in the leg, but only if Noppert makes a mess of 227. 2 visits guaranteed. He's in the red bit again. Oh, and again, it's begging for another. Well, that was a showboat. He didn't put any effort into that. He just tossed it in.
You know, that's the secret. Just let everything from the elbow down do the work.
47 then for 8-1. There's the 7. And there's the 40 to go with it. And it feels like normal service is resumed. 8 legs to 1.
Well, probably on the verge of going 8-0. To just drop that leg takes believe it or not, takes a bit of pressure off Noppert if he was feeling any, because you start to think, well, am I going to lose the leg or not? And you just think about that rather than think about the game, because that was a much more efficient leg from Danny. Still averaging mid-90s, rock solid, typical Danny Noppert.
Yeah, that's what you expected. Look, if Cameron Menzies was 8-1 down and Noppert was averaging 117, Cameron Menzies would be playing entirely different. But he's watching a guy who's just playing okay. Yeah. Okay by his own standards. And he's getting nowhere near him. He's worked so hard to get here, and literally he might be on the hockey maybe 20, 22 minutes. That'll be all he'll get.
Yeah, of actual hockey time, that'll be about it. I mean, Menzies has beat plenty of players who've averaged mid-90s against him, as he pops in his 2nd max of the match. Takes him down to 176 on throw. Noppert from 270. He's having to move a lot because he's thrown a low dart. He's got the trouble, want to stay straight and doesn't, so he won't be on a finish.
No, needed a 20, hit the 1.76 for Menzies. I'm going to say, if you hit the treble, Cameron, check your score. But he's left double 18. Better leg from Menzies.
Yeah, this is what we expect from Menzies. Left a double 18 after just 12 darts thrown. Noppert, 96 to leave 93 if he gets a go. Not had too much practice on the doubles. Big 18, double 9. Ooh. Picks up just his second leg of the match, and it's a good one, a 15 dart hole mark.
Yeah, 8 legs to 2 in favour of Danny Noppert. Cameron Menzies wipes the sweat from his brow. It's been a pretty humiliating 20 minutes or so on the stage for him. Only 2 of the 10 legs he has taken, only 2 of the 10 legs has he had a shot at a double in.
Well, he's had 17 turns more than Noppert where he's not hit a treble. Noppert only on 4 trebleless visits in the whole match, which is a stat that sort of indicates he's just keeping the pressure on. He's not letting up on Menzies.
No, he's not. Still to come, Luke Humphries, defending champion, takes on Gian van Veen, winner on the Pro Tour this year. Beat Luke Humphries in the final en route to that win in Leicester. It's their first meeting in the match play.
The final of the Euro Tour as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Aspinall against Wessel Nijman will be the final game. And Aspinall already beat Nijman 7-6 in the European Tour semi-final this year. Their first match play meeting, where that one will take on James Wade, who is up already through into the last 16.
Yeah, he'll have his feet up and just reflecting on what was an outstanding performance. And it's sort of night and day, this, you know, the beating was a heavy one for Joe Cullen, but that was down to James's quality. He just didn't allow Joe in the game, where at the moment Noppert's just sat around that 95, just hovering around there. He's at 5-1-8, he's 8 from 24 on the double, so there, if Menzies would have been in and around it, he would have been getting opportunities.
He would have been. Mentioned tomorrow, got a double header. Damon Heta, Andrew Gilding, Rob Cross, Dirk van Dijvenbode, Peter Wright, Jermaine Wattermainer and Dave Chisnell against Mike De Decker. That's followed up by Gary Anderson. He takes on Luke Woodhouse. Johnny Clayton, Martin Schindler, Luke Littler against Ryan Searle, and Stephen Bunting against Ryan Joyce. Those two met in the opening round last year. Bunting averaged 107, but needed extra time to beat Joyce.
Yeah, only just beat him 12-10, wasn't it?
He did beat him.
But I'm not sure that he's in that kind of form right now.
Who, Bunting?
No.
Joyce.
Yeah,
quite possibly.
Bunting
struggled. He was the last player to qualify, wasn't he, Ryan Joyce?
Yeah, he was on the bubble, wasn't he?
And he got, I won't say a little bit fortunate, but there were players in behind him that couldn't maximise their opportunities. Final opening games, they're on Monday night. Chris Dobie, Ricardo Pietrezco, Gerwyn Price, basically who's had, what a couple of weeks he's had. We saw him win in Poland.
A week later he wins in Kiel on the European
and in between he was a runner-up and a semi-finalist on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, he's won more tournaments this year than anybody else.
Yeah, he beat Daryl Gurney in the opening round last year, 10-4. Yep. They meet again, and Michael van Gerwen against Raymond van Barneveld.
Didn't they met here years ago?
2009.
Wow.
Barney won 10-3.
Yes, he gave him a bit
of a touch-up.
Yeah.
And the final game, what a game this is. Ross Smith takes on Josh Rock. Guess what? They met last year. Smith won that one 10-4.
Wow.
So there's a lot of repeat games.
Yeah.
I think Josh Rock is a slightly different proposition to the one that Ross Smith played here last year.
Absolutely, he's a different player altogether. He is a player on the ascendancy, and he was due to do something big. Won the World Cup, of course, with Daryl Gurney, and then prior to that and since that, he's just not looked back.
He's going to take some beating, that is for sure. Right, we're back underway. Game 2 of the opening night World Match Play. Thanks for joining us on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Lots of you doing that. We'll have some videos up there. I think James Wade will be appearing on that page shortly.
Yeah, I think Dan's just caught up with him not very long ago.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how he felt about that. He can sometimes be
He's not always the most straightforward of interviewee, is he?
No, and even when you sort of give him some praise, I think because he feels like he doesn't get a fair shake, that he can be quite defensive even when you are praising him.
Yeah, well, he deserved praise tonight. He was brilliant. Not to be for Joe Cullen, and so far not to be for Cameron Menzies, who's averaging just over 80 here. Noppert's got the throw. He's 2 legs away. And a 174 to add to 5 180s and a 177.
Yeah, this is some big scoring, and that's a big response. The 180 from Menzies, unfortunately for him, doesn't leave him a finish. Noppert is on 134, single 18. 116. He'll go 419s for his favourite tops. Gets 3 of them.
Well, we've had an interesting night tonight. We saw Joe Cullen bust on 108, hitting 2 treble 19s, and then we saw Cameron Menzies bust on 178. Never seen it before.
No, I have. I've seen them bust on 180 where they've just caught the flight going for a big 20, and then it just gets sucked into the treble. But that's a 13 dart hold, and it puts Danny Noppert just a leg away from a 10-2 victory.
Well, we were given a chance by the sponsors to have a go on the guess the number of legs tonight. I was eliminated on match 1 because I thought every game was going to go really long.
Well, I picked 64, and I'm gonna. At the moment, I'm nowhere near it.
You're nearer than me, my friend. Mine's already been greyed out on the thing. It's impossible to get that many. I think Cameron Menzies is going to be greyed out in a minute as well, because he's struggling badly here. 12th leg, he's on 326, Noppert 419, but Noppert in the red bit again. Danny Noppert won't believe his luck, will he, tonight?
No, it's the kind of thing you sort of not necessarily hope for, but you sort of hope he has a bit of a nightmare, and well, he's had just that. Noppert now averaging 97. Credit to Menzies, he's taken his average up to over 82. But that's still, 82 is not going to compete over this long form of the sport. As Danny hits a 10th 140, Menzies only 4.
Yeah, 11 legs of darts, only 5 trebleless visits for Noppert, 23 for Menzies. That stat in itself tells a story. And he's left a bogey finish again, Menzies.
Yeah,
here.
and Noppert is in from 180. Ooh. Treble 20 was found, loads of room, and he's just shanked one down. Doesn't recover, only a ton, so he'll have to come back at 80, but should get at least 1 dart at a double. Menzies from 166, only 58.
I won't say he's given up, Cameron Menzies, but he's not far off it. Noppert, single 20, so another one to leave tops. Climbs the ladder, moves a fraction to his right. First match dart for Noppert. Oh, is it big 1?
Yeah, the second dart to leave tops was very high, and he had to pick a corner. He picked the right side and just overdid it and found the 1, but just 68 for Menzies to leave tops. But Danny on 39, 7 or 19, big target.
19 hit, 2 10s for the match and a place in round 2. And Danny Noppert puts Cameron Menzies out of his misery. It was an awful performance, there's no other word for it. Menzies' night summed up in leg 4 when he bust a score of 178 by hitting a maximum, and he never really featured. Only had 2 legs when he got a shot at a double. Danny Noppert on hand to mop up, and mop up he did.
Yeah, nice touch from Danny Noppert, trying to console Cameron. And listen, when it's all done and dusted, you do have some sympathy for your opponent when they've had a. Listen, you're pleased you've won and everything else, and once it's done, you know, he's showing a bit of class there. Nice touch.
He is indeed. So Noppert will be through. He will take on the winner of our 3rd game tonight. Luke Humphries takes on Gian van Veen, the defending champion, against the young man that everybody expects to be going on to bigger and better things in the world of darts. Still to come, Aspinall takes on Nijman. All that to come here on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. We're going to go have a word with Danny Noppert. That will be on that same YouTube page as well in a few minutes' time. It's Danny Noppert who's through, been 2 one-sided affairs. Wade beat Cullen 10-3, and now Noppert has beaten Menzies by 10 legs to 2.